Okay, here's another asset creation video. This is the rock done from last time. Yeah, so just thought I'd leave that open on screen. This time I'm going to do something a little bit different, kind of interesting. So I had this idea for a pillar kind of thing, like, or I guess maybe more like a post is almost what I want to do. I've actually found it kind of hard to think of, more difficult than I thought it would be to just come up with various asset ideas that are quite reusable within the game. Like tree is obviously very reusable, rocks very reusable, and beyond that, I found it almost difficult to come up with things surprisingly. But I wanted to make a post because it'd be easy to make kind of borders or like fences almost with a post, and they can all look the same and still kind of look cohesive. You don't need like fences flipped at different angles and all that. So, and I had an idea for a post, and then I was out and about today, and I saw this guy, which is very in line with what I was looking to do. So I just forgot to put a timer on for myself. All right. Yeah, so uh, quite a bit similar. I mean, it's not exactly, actually it's decently different, but it's definitely in the realm of what I want. So I took this photo of it, which is kind of at like an isometric kind of angle. So we'll plop that in here. I'm going to take a different approach to things today. Yeah, so let's get started. I'm going to remove the background of this first. Probably need to mess with the intensity here of the quick select tool. Mm, a little more. Nope, too much. I can work with that. Okay. So, you know what? I'm going to end up having to cut this guy out anyways. So, alright, we'll do it that way. So I'm going to grab lasso tool and just cut him out quickly. Easy enough. Parfait. Okay, I'm going to invert that selection, get rid of that. Beauty. Alright, all done. Just kidding. I thought it'd be cool to, you can obviously use things like this as reference, but I thought it'd be a cool approach to just paint over top of it directly. So that's what I'm going to do. Where's that down? So let's make this guy bigger. It's actually quite a bit of like third point perspective you get on this. Quite noticeable, really. It's kind of interesting. Okay, so get the kind of centerized. I'm actually going to bring it down because I'm going to, based on my idea in my head, end up changing this. I kind of like that graffiti on there too. It's cool. I would keep something like that. It'd be cool maybe as a variation to have something like that, but since I'm trying to make assets that I can place like a bajillion times and it still kind of look decent, it would look silly if there was like a graffiti splash repeated over and over again on all these. Okay, so I'm gonna grab a brush here. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna go to new layer, and here we go. Um, okay, finding myself hesitating. We're gonna adjust this a bit. Do a little minor tweak there. Beauty, okay. I'm just gonna splotch right in. So my idea is something kind of like have a little sort of spike on the top here. And then, I don't know, something like this. I say like something like this is like you can see where my vision is at this point, but it's not there yet. Also seeing like how much that perspective exists, and I'm not putting enough of it in my stuff. I know that for sure. Need to need to work on that. Okay, cool. So there's kind of a little overpaint there, and then yeah, I think I'm gonna dupe this so we still have the original, and then I'm gonna put this down with it. I'm just gonna cut right into it. So let's do some selection. Get rid of that. This would be almost a good point where having almost a mirror tool or mirroring this would be good at least. A mirror tool or just however one would like to mirror it. Not sure I'm going to use that right now, but we shall see. Beauty. I do kind of like when you don't mirror things, you tend to get a little bit more, I don't know, uniqueness to it. If you're not somebody that's wanting something, or the task doesn't call for something that's, perfectly symmetrical. And this could be like a little banged up and such. Okay, I'm digging this so far. This might be something I could get some variations on too. That would be like different types of pillars. Have different fence kind of types formed out of them. Let's try. Beauty. Okay, so now we've got that. Start bringing it back in. Got this at the wrong angle, or wait, do I? No, this one's at the wrong angle. Because perspective-wise, I want to get that looking further, or angle going down to get, because it's further away, it looks smaller. Pretty basic. Elementary perspective rule. Okay, let's grab some of this. Yeah, I'm just color picking, as you can see. Makes it pretty straightforward. It's kind of cool, because like obviously people do this sort of stuff with their own photographs, or sorry, photographs off the internet. Just paint over things like this. And there's always kind of this feeling, or I suppose, or maybe question when it comes to art or concept art of like whether it's cheating or whatnot. And I think like when you're in a big production setting, then there's no cheating, as long as you're following legality systems of copyright and stuff. It's more like what's the most impressive thing we can produce, however we get to that goal, which I think makes a lot of sense. Uh, but at the same time, for me being somebody working on a solo project, because I've dealt with this question a lot, and I think I'm kind of at a place where I feel, although there's some of these fancier techniques and things, and you can ways to do things, and a lot of the stuff I do is slower, like well, for one, creating all my own artwork and making my own game engine and details like that. But because it's my own project, I have to be willing to sit there and do it a long time and enjoy the experience of doing it. And I kind of enjoy the experience of creating things a little bit more from scratch to a degree, you know. Um, but I don't know, there's like a lot of AI coming out right now and stuff, and I'm like, questioning, do I want to ever use that in my project or not? And I'm not sure yet. At the moment, I'm staying away from it. But at the same, I do. There's also so much art that needs to be created, and there's some technique, some of these fancier techniques. But I don't know. For now, I took this photo myself, and I think that's kind of neat. That taking a photograph, my own photography, I guess. Not that it was photography; it was me with my phone snapping a quick picture. But taking that and creating an asset like this, I think is pretty cool, really. So that's my brief thoughts on that. Hmm. Okay. Let's see how I'm doing on time here. Gotta definitely pick up the pace a bit. I'm gonna do this to get a better sense. There's so much more grime than I'd like to get in here. I'm gonna grab this brush. Okay. Oh, and these like bolts are really good. If I could introduce some bolts like that, that would be cool. I think my eraser must be... Oh, I've been using the eraser the whole time, being like, man, this does like nothing. I'll just use the selection tool. um, and it's because my eraser opacity, I don't know if it's considered opacity when it comes to eraser, but it says opacity in here, sure. Right, eraser opacity is was turned down. Okay, I need to quicken her up here a bit. So I'm just going to try and rough in all the details that do exist, and then noodle around a little bit after that. Okay. It is interesting though, using this photo, I'm like almost taking just as long as if I had started this from scratch. The question is whether I'll get a higher fidelity, I don't know if that's the right word in this context, higher quality piece in the end or not. I like this rust a lot. I like this rust. I think I would prefer if this was like I don't know, cave. I think concave dips in, convex dips out, I guess. I could have that wrong. Don't quote me. Grab this. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. How would this look? Perspective-wise, I don't think it'd be very perceivable. Maybe a little bit. I'm trying to think if I want this to kind of dip in a bit, how perceivable it would be on the back side. Go with that. Do. This be like. I keep grabbing the wrong color. Okay, this is looking pretty rough, I'm not gonna lie. not used to this technique of using the photograph, throwing off my sense of progression. Definitely need to tighten it up a bit though. I'm going to dupe it. Try and... do I want to do that? No, I don't. Need to use a hard brush here. Just going to turn this off so I can see the holes in value. Turn that back on. I'm going to cut the... oh gosh. Try to clean up these edges a bit. Oh gosh. Time is slipping through my fingers. Alright, I'm going to do a color adjustment because I want this to be a little bit like more purpley. Colors, hue saturation. Lightness, bring that down a bit perhaps. It's looking a little too intense, I think. The problem is I don't... Well, that's kind of what the realm. Maybe treat the saturation. I might need to open another asset to show the colors I'm trying to go for here. Where we'll go into here. Resources, images. What am I? Am I in the right place? Here we go. Resources, images, environment. Okay, this guy right, wherever the heck it is. This guy. Looking for this kind of get similar colors going on. Let's just try to pop some of that in there. Yeah, if I could even just lock that and then just, there we go, color some of this gray bits in that sort of value. Let's see what else we got. Kind of this orangey. Yeah. Okay. Sort of a reddish. Digging it. This needs to be fastened to this somehow, which is, there's a lot of details I'm missing here. Definitely well over time. And in fact, even in my real time, I need somewhere I have to go very shortly. Oh gosh. I'm gonna need to stop myself. This is like too... Okay. Well, it's not perfect. It has a lot of things I would have liked to, it's not quite the vision I had in my mind. I have a lot more thought that kind of around what this could be. But That's how it goes when you're trying to keep it short like this. Every video, it's like me rambling at the end, like, well, I should probably stop because of the time. But I'm just gonna sit here and keep rambling for another decent while. I'll get better at these videos as they go along. That's how it goes. Oh, I kind of like this little bit here. Oh gosh, that needs to be so much more round though. Oh dear. Oh, darn, and this whole, like, I had this whole bit about this graffiti. It's very cool, and I kind of want it there, but, like I said, it's going to be something that, if I leave there, is going to look funny, because it's going to get repeated on every texture. It'd be like having a wall texture or something that has the same graffiti on it, and that's the wall of it. Every wall in the game or something, you know, just is silly. So, obviously, variations would be good to have. Might have to do some at some point. Okay, I'm gonna flip this. Oh, it's looking pretty rough, symmetry-wise, guys. It's not, honestly, I would say, quite in a usable state. If you cut this off. I think I should have done a symmetry flip kind of on this. I think that would have been a wise thing to have done. I'd mentioned it potentially at the beginning of the video, but okay. Well, it's a little slightly better. I think I'm gonna leave this bolt in. Oh, this bolt actually should probably go because, let's do this. Put one over here. Oh gosh, I don't know if that's gonna work very well. Yeah, good enough. I don't even like this, like, there's some stuff here that just doesn't even make sense. I clearly butchered the time on this one. I just got too into it. I was too into the idea of it and kind of squandered my time away. Let's do this. I think it's not great. You can see you can see symmetry issues. Like it doesn't need to be physically it kind of needs to be symmetrical other than the edges. Um, because the edges could be like a little bit of corrosion and such, right? But the texture can be whatever. But you do kind of need some symmetry there. So let's just... I really butchered the perspective again too, hey? I like really changed it to look a lot more forward rather than top down. But, oh well, it's kind of cool. It's got its issues, but this will probably be one I'm definitely going to come back and do some touch-ups to and such. I might even, yeah. Anyways, hopefully the dialogue in these videos improves over time, but hopefully you enjoyed it nonetheless. Yep. Anyways, bye.